All right, all right. Hey, everybody. Welcome to our Buildoff with Glide experts. Let us know where you're coming in from. Please drop it into the chat. See folks coming in from Paris, Toronto, Atlanta, Singapore, New Zealand. We got folks coming in from all over. All right. So if we haven't met before, hi, I'm Andy, head of community here at Glide. And 2023 was our year of power. And we're celebrating it all month long. We got this event happening today. We got another great one coming up on Tuesday with our CEO, David. And if this is your first time joining us, you're in for a good time because we've never done anything like this before. We have Glide experts on here building live apps in under an hour. We are bringing a bunch of people in for the first time. This is going to be really good. And I'm not hosting this alone. I would love to bring on Brett,
Joe,
head of experts. Brett, how you doing?
Man, I am so excited to be here. There's not going to be any fooling around. We have got three incredible experts here that are going to just be rocking and rolling. And look, while they're building these incredible apps and solutions, Andy, we're going to bring up their screen so you can see what they're doing. Like, this is going to be insane. We're not doing this one time or two times, three times. Oh yeah. I'm excited to see what they build.
All right, so here's how we're going to play this thing out. So we have a minimum spec here for everybody. They're going to build an app for work, but each person's going to decide on their use case. And in that build, they're going to showcase some of the new power features that we launched this year. You can see those over to the right here. Big tables, BigQuery, actions integrations, Glide AI, Call API. Core functionality, the ability to add and modify data, of course, including 2+ user roles, restricting permissions based on roles, and at the end, having a published app ready to share. Now, we've set everybody up with a business plan already. So that means that we're just going to jump off and start building immediately. And on the judging criteria side, this will go to a community vote afterwards, and we'll show the link at the end. And we have a few different criteria that we're going to be looking at. So with all that said, let's bring on the experts. Hey, everybody.
Let's go.
Hey, welcome. So we've got Marco coming in from Aussie, Australia. We've got Megan representing Texas. Welcome, Megan. And we've got Robert, representing Atlanta, Georgia. So glad to have y'all. Are y'all so Marco, how excited are you right now?
I'm pumped. Like I said, I'm a little delusional because it's 5 a.m. So it's been an early morning. But yeah, I like the format of this. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. And I think it's going to give a lot of people watching some insight into how we throw together apps. You know, the time limit is good because it's just no nonsense building. And yeah, I think it's going to be a great session.
I think so too. Megan, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling excited.
I'm so eager to see what y'all. But now, Robert, how about you? What's going through your head right now?
I'm just thinking about, okay, like what data am I going to be able to work with? What app am I going to build? I still have no idea exactly what I'm building. But we're gonna wing it. It's gonna be great.
It got real. Andy pulled the timer up, y'all.
Don't worry, you have plenty of time. You have plenty of time. You have a whole hour to work with. All right.
In an hour with Glide.
We can do it. We can do it.
Okay. So let's is everyone ready? Let's hit start.
We're ready.
All right.
Let's go.
3, 2, 1. Let's go.
There it is.
All right. Let's
Open up my app. We're gonna build.
Okay, so what's going to happen is we're going to be jumping between our builders here as they go. They'll be providing a little bit of commentary as we build, and we'll be adding some comments as well. Drop your thoughts in the chat. We'll bring those up.
All right, I'm going to start with my user data. So I'm going to go ahead and I've already created a couple CSVs of users. So I'm going to go ahead and
Robert,
insert.
you do want to share your screen. I think when you
Bob,
we lost your screen.
We're missing your screen.
It's okay.
I jumped out and jumped in. We good?
All right.
I think so.
We're in?
Albert, we're starting with you.
Perfect. Okay, so my app is going to be HR training platform for businesses that have no HR department. So the thought process is here, like I know I've worked with many small companies that want to do the level of training with their users, but most of their training is just video based. So we're going to actually build out an app that's purely video based. It's going to build out the courses and build out the lessons automatically using AI, and then allow us to track user progress. So wish me luck. So I just imported a bunch of users here, and we're going to see if we can get this thing up and going. So I just imported some users for the construction company here. Next step is I'm working with the data first. So you can't build an app if you don't have good data. So now is a chance to get the... So I have my users in here. I'm going to go ahead and do another import. That's the one nice thing about Glide is that we can just import from anywhere. So I'm going to import a CSV from my computer here. I already imported their users. Now I'm going to import some training events that maybe this HR department or this company wants to do. So just title, start time, end time. So we're going to, if I have time here, I'm going to allow to build out some functionality where users can RSVP to a training event too. So admins can take a look at that as well. In terms of roles and users, I know that's part of the process here. Let's remove my data. We have just a couple of roles. We have managers, we have admins, and then we're going to have construction workers. So I'm going to take these construction workers and actually make that their title as well. And then we have these other titles here. And then we're going to go ahead and make this the role. So we're going to have to define that in our user profile table. So here in contacts, user profile, roles already set. That's awesome. All right. So then the next step is going. The next step is going to be fleshing out my lessons and the courses. So,
but it looks like you've got a handle.
I'm in it. We're gonna.
I'm liking
flying,
it.
man.
Let's check on Megan. Megan, can we see what you're doing?
I'm over here building a feedback tool for a small business, maybe wanting to evaluate their employees. So, oftentimes we've got, the need to look at a big data set of reviews. So that's what I'm aiming to do here. So I've got evaluations table right here. We're going to use some AI columns, which I haven't gotten to yet, but we're going to use some AI columns to analyze the sentiment of the comment and then look at and calculate an average score, and then provide also like historical performance data. So just thinking I'll try to do a very quick and easy interface where the admin could go in and quickly add a review for an employee, or evaluation rather. And then if I have time, maybe I will get to the whole other idea I had, which was being able to share an employee's profile with maybe a client that they helped, where the client could also add to that feedback. So we'll see.
I love this.
Yeah.
I love this. So let's check on Megan. I'm gonna let you keep going.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm Marco's doing. She was refreshing. Hey, all right, Marco. Can we see what you're working on?
Yeah, absolutely. So I thought it's a common theme that I would build an app around wine. So anybody who knows local school or my history knows that in Hong Kong, I've got a wine importing business, and we kind of distribute wine to different hotels and restaurants. And part of that, part of the operations is basically sending out salesmen to do tasting at venues. So what I wanted to do was allow sales reps to upload the current wine list of a restaurant, use AI to turn that into text, and then based on the wines in our catalog, suggest great like replacements, also using AI. So replacements or additions to that menu, and then generating a PDF that they can bring along to the tasting. So a couple of different moving parts here. We've got AI, we've got, I'm going to use the API to actually generate the PDFs. We're going to have some text to choice, Glide AI stuff. So should be pretty interesting.
I think so too. So I'm curious. Keep building, Marco. Andy, which one? Like all three of these ideas are incredible. And for those who are watching, which one of these ideas would like? I mean, which one would you like to see live the most? Like, I want to see all of them. Of course, Marco, I love the wine. What you just said about the wine, that's such a great use case.
It's an easy thing to love.
And well, of course it is. And I've also been really always impressed with how you've paired AI with the day-to-day of the wine business. It's been really awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. It's something that if you can learn to master it, it can really help you out, especially with like descriptions of wines, or for example, I'm going to be using AI to kind of explain the reasoning behind why this is a good wine to add to the list. So you can really arm your salesman and stuff like that with data that can increase sales and make a big dent. So it's pretty awesome.
Well, you've got some fans loving the wine app. They want to see it, the finished product. Andy, what is Bob doing down there? We haven't talked to him in a minute. We need to check in.
All right, Bob, how's it going?
Oh,
So I wanted to make sure to hear that this works. All right. So I mentioned that to introduce my app here, that this is going to be an app where we're going to create lessons on the fly using AI just from a video URL. So I already set up my transcript. This is a call API column to an API that I subscribe to for YouTube's transcribers. I already set up my API key and everything in here too. So then that way I did it while you were talking to everybody else to that we avoid any sort of data breaches. But the way that this is going to work is all I have to do is put in a video ID query. So that means I need a video ID to reference. And so I'm going to paste in a bunch of YouTube videos here. It says I need the video ID query. So now I have to get the video ID. So watch what happens here. I'm going to go ahead and pop in a YouTube video, right? And this is the standard YouTube video where we have this parameter v equals and then the video ID. So now I have to extract this ID and send it to the transcript. So we can use a column in Glide called get part of URL. So if I just search for video, I'm going to call this video ID. The type is going to be a part of URL column. And I can specify the parameter that I want. So the URL is going to be the lesson video URL. And the parameter name is that V in the URL. And that lets me extract the video ID. And now in my transcript, I can come over here and add that as the video ID. And if I did it correctly, I should get a YouTube transcript.
Oh, that's cool.
So now with this video transcript, not only this is that I can get the time in seconds, I get the title, I get the description, I get the thumbnail, I get the transcript. So in order to do anything with this JSON here, we have the new powerful Glides JSON, our query JSON column. So I'm going to call this just transcript. I probably should have called this column something else like data or something. I'll probably rename that here in just a second. So I can do a query JSON. The JSON is going to be this column, which I'm going to rename. And then the query here is going to be, if I were to dive into that URL, it would be the transcription. And then it happens to be within the transcription array, there's the timestamp of the transcription and then the actual text, which is the subtitle. If I do transcription subtitle like this, then inside of here, I have the entire YouTube video in text. And I can do a whole bunch of things with this, as you can imagine. I mean, this is where my lesson content is going to come from. So this is a $10 API. So if anybody wants this API after the fact, this endpoint, let me know and I can throw that into comments or something after the fact. So this is where I'm working. So watch when you come back, I'll do it everything in mass. You can see the power and speed of the Glide transcription column. I
love it. Andy, before we jump, we need to look at the timer. What are we at?
We do need to look at the timer. You know, it's amazing how time flies. We are already at the 50-minute mark. 10 minutes has passed. One thing I wanted to call out, we've gone through each of our builders here. They've all started with the data. And I think if you're new to Glide and you're trying to wrap your head around Glide architecture, how do you build apps with Glide? Start by thinking about the data. Think about how am I going to structure it? What information do I need? We've seen that across all of these apps. All right, who do we want to go to next?
I think it's Megan's turn. We should check in with Megan and see what she's working on.
All right.
Go for it.
All right, Megan.
I've been kind of busy building out the actual interface first. I kind of like to do that. Right now, I've got the team page going where the admin could select a team member and start evaluating them. And I'm going to go ahead and start jumping over to build some columns to look at maybe the average score of an employee, although I don't know if I have multiple reviews for employees. But what I'll do first to find the average is probably, let's go ahead and relate all of the employees that maybe have multiple. So what I'm doing here is just, finding all of the similar employee IDs to relate them to each other. And then I'm going to use a math column to evaluations to find the average. But since you guys are popping in here, let's go ahead and use one of the AI integrations. So I know that I think Analyze or Sentiment, well, one of them was, let's see. Maybe we could do text to Boolean. Is this evaluation positive or negative? And then we can use the comments, positive review. And we could also use OpenAI to analyze the sentiment. It's just kind of up to you. Let's go ahead and build out the average score. So what we're going to need to do first is find the average. We'll use a roll-up column for that, actually. So let's find the score and let's do the average. Now, I think most of my employees right now are all having one review, but as I add to my data, we could see that start to change. Maybe we use a more precise. Maybe I'd also like to show the admin the latest time, like the last time that they reviewed this employee or evaluated them. So what I could do is use a roll up and find the latest timestamp. All right, latest review. Okay. I think what I want to do next is to go ahead and start just adding to the data so that we start getting some variances so I can build out the interface. So what I'll do to do that is just add additional rows and probably just copy and paste. All right, and maybe change some numbers. So maybe this might be 4. Oh, not 6. We want to keep it below.
That'd be a nice review. I'll take that review.
Yeah, and some of these, I just grabbed some sample data from like somewhere online, but the review text is probably not going to be really specific to, it's going to vary by industry, but maybe this could be for like, I don't know, restaurant people or something. All right, so let's go back over to here. This form screen, I need to probably go ahead and build out a little better, but it'll do for now. This is what we would use to have admin give the ability to add new team members. So I'm going to use the choices table and let them pick from roles.
We're going to leave you to this.
Yeah.
We need to check in with our wine man, Marco.
Yeah, go for it.
Hey, Marco.
Hey, how you going, guys?
Oh, I've
Not
brought
too
the wrong.
bad. So...
There we go.
Marco, what are you working on? Can we see?
Yeah, absolutely. So at the moment, what I've done is I've kind of established the 5 main tables of the application. I always start with the data, so I'm kind of building this out. And we've got a few different things here. So we have obviously the user table, then we have just a list of wines. These are, I think, Robert Parker's top 100 wines or something like that. We have the tasting sheets themselves. So this is where we'll basically be adding tasting sheet items that they can then turn into a PDF and bring along with them. So of course, part of that is the tasting sheet items themselves. And this is where we'll be copying over from the wines that the AI suggests as the best match. So we'll be copying over the data, pasting it in here. And then what we're going to be doing is like piecing together little bits of HTML. So then we can actually turn that HTML into a PDF using the call API function. So at the moment, what I'm doing is I'm just building out the relations between the tasting sheets and the tasting items. And what I'm going to do now is add a column to the right here, and this is going to be called, we can call this JSON. And we can use a really handy integration called JSON object. And all I'm going to do here is just put the key pair value. So the key is going to be HTML, and the value is going to be this HTML. So all I'm doing here is in the tasting sheet items, we have tasting sheet ID. And this allows me to create a list of related items from that table, right? So I'm looking up the row ID and I'm making sure it matches the tasting sheet ID here. So then what I'm doing, because we now have access to all of those pieces of data, I'm going to use a joined list column to join specific data from that table. And what I'm joining together is just some very basic HTML I've created in a template column. So we're kind of pulling together information about the wine. And then here we're creating a joined list. At the moment, it's just one, but this will be a joined list of all of the wines that we've added to the tasting sheet.
That's cool.
And
That's cool.
so yeah, that's what I'm cracking away at.
I love a good use of the template column and how you just bring all these pieces together to create basically one value.
It's the most handy column. Like you can use it for basically anything, and it really allows you to consolidate data from all over into just one nicely formatted kind of chunk. So pretty awesome.
Nice.
This
You'll
is
leave
great.
it to it.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Andy, all right, Marco, we're gonna send you down. Keep going. Andy, what is the timer at? What's going on?
We are at 42 minutes. It's almost been 20 minutes already. Time flies.
Like we're only getting snippets from each one of them. But the cool thing is that at the end we hope to have all of this recorded, so everybody who's watching will be able to go back and see their builds.
Exactly.
This is incredible. This is such an educational thing. I'm learning stuff. People are learning stuff. Like this is amazing. What do y'all think? If you're viewing and you're watching this, what do y'all think? I'd love to know. Is this something that we should do every day, or no? I'm just kidding. But
we are absolutely right, and we are getting some really nice posts in the comments here. This one from Darren talking about how you build, and we're seeing other comments fly through here about how folks are putting their apps together. Some folks start with the data, go deep on that, and then move over to layout. Others are pinging back and forth. Some people think more visually. They're starting with the layouts first, and then they move into data. It really is up to you and how you want to build. But I think something that we've seen already is that everyone's taking this iterative approach. Now we start here, we're going back and forth, we're building things out and figuring out what we're building as we go. And I think that's one of the beautiful things about Glide.
Before we jump to Bob, I just want to say a huge shout out. I agree with Natalia. Like these experts have 1 hour to build an app, and they're telling us what they're doing and walking through. This is so great. So let's see what Bob's doing. Let's see if he has re-engineered the world yet.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so I've been busy. So already I have a lessons table. I was able to parse out a little bit more here. As you see, we have the title now, we have the transcript, we have the thumbnail, I used a Glide AI column to summarize this into a summary of the transcript plus the 3 of the top bullet points. So when I go to view this in the lesson page, we know exactly what this lesson's all about. And then I have really fancy in the courses table, I created 2 courses, falls prevention and job site safety. I wrapped those in a JSON column, just kind of combine them together here. I'm bringing that JSON into the lessons table for reference purposes. And then I created an AI column here called a prompt using a template column, template magic, right? Where I said, here's a JSON, a bunch of all their courses and their IDs, analyze the transcript, auto-categorize each video into one of the courses, output the course ID. So then that way, in case I ever change the name of the lesson or the course ID still remains the same. ID is always the best practice when you're trying to link data from table to table. So look at that. It outputted a course ID, this 4LT, blah, 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 under the falls in construction. And did it match it? Falls, job site safety. There we go. So now I'm going to try to go ahead and paste in a bunch of URLs all at once. And let's see if the magic works. So I'm going to go ahead and copy some YouTube videos and paste, copy these YouTube videos and paste. And now we have summaries, we have titles, we have transcripts, and it's generating course IDs here. It looks like I might need to adjust my prompt a little bit because it's here at output the title and not the row ID. But all in all, I'm getting exactly what I want. And now I can relate my courses to the lessons. And so all the user will have to do is pop in a new YouTube ID and it's automatically going to create that content. So
that's awesome.
I already have dreams here of like, here are my courses section, right? These are the courses. We already have the relation going. So if I were to dive into a course, I want to show the relation. We can do that through a collection here. Let's say it's a card view, right? And inside this collection, here's the relation. The image is going to be that thumbnail from the AI. Automatically pulls in the thumbnail. Automatically pulls in the title. Description could be whatever I want it to be. I dive into this. Again, same thing. And if some of these videos are in a different language, you'll notice that the summary is also in that target language as well, because that was part of the prompt. So provide a brief summary in the language of the transcription. So now we can cater to the different employees at our company. So the next little bit here is I'm going to go ahead and start fleshing out this sequence of courses to lessons and then lessons to the functionality of tracking progress of that lesson.
I love it. This is awesome. One thing I really like about this, we often hear about like, should I use Glide AI in the data? Should I use it in actions? I think this is a really good example of when you would want to use it in the data because you're doing these bulk actions. You need to apply this AI prompt across a bunch of rows simultaneously. The best way to do that, get in there, add that computed column with Glide AI, change the prompt once, you'll see everything regenerate. It's a really great use case. All right, where to next?
No, Bob, I love what you've done by very smartly using the AI and all of this. What's so crazy,
right,
is that all of this is coming from one URL. It's just this is the input is a YouTube video, and
right. That's all it is. That was my dream. Like a single video, something. I don't have time. I don't have an HR department to create all this content for me. Let's use YouTube. Let's use AI, and let's generate it magically. Right.
That's mind blowing. Bob, keep going. We're going to come back in a bit. We got to cycle through and check on Megan. Make sure she's okay down there. She's muted.
There we go.
My bad.
Your screen?
I've been so how are you guys? Everybody doing good?
It's crazy. There's the stuff y'all are building is insane. So what is this? What are you working on now?
Right now I'm building out the dashboard screen that admin could view, just a top level view of employee evaluation. So right now I'm rolling up all of the scores just to show an average, the total number of reviews. While y'all were away, here's what I've got going so far with some of the newer power features that Glide offers. So I've used in this example right here, I've just used a generate text AI column to generate a synopsis of the review. So notice that I've just put a blanket instruction here. Can you provide a synopsis for the following employee evaluation? I'm using a template column. I heard Marco mentioning how powerful they were, earlier, and I was about to unmute and say, hey, I second that. Because what I'm doing right here is I'm just basically using a template column to join the various columns we might want to use in the synopsis. So obviously my sample data is not very robust, but let's say that we were, I don't know, in the education world and a teacher was being evaluated or something, right? There might be a long list of comments made by an administrator. So, this comment box is very, very minimal, but if it were very long, it'd be a lot to digest and read at a glance. So I thought it might be nice to have Glide AI generate a synopsis for not only the employee, but maybe for other admin who might be viewing the review. So for instance, we've got, let's see, they made this one a little bit longer. This the AI kind of spit out some stuff, but some negative interactions with an employee, telling them the score, that kind of thing. So I used a template column to join. Where did it go? Right here. So I'm basically just listing off a bunch of parts of the review. And the things that I want the AI to include in the synopsis might grow. So that's the cool thing about a template column, is I could literally just go in there and add another parameter if another parameter is created. So I've right now just got score, comments, and the type of review. I figured maybe to lend to more flexibility, we could adjust the type, right? So maybe it's just a quick check-in, maybe it's a full hour evaluation or something like that. So over here, I'm just starting to build out the dashboard. So we're going to show them the average score of all employees, the number of reviews, or maybe we'll say evaluations. I'm trying to use some consistent language here. I think evaluations might resonate with more industries. I don't know. And then my other idea is that I'm going to add some charts here, and then have a list below that has more of, the detailed list. So yeah, that's
You're off to a great start, Megan. This is looking as expected, incredible.
Oh, thank you.
Let's we should check on Marco and see what's going on down there.
Hey Marco, how are we doing?
We're going, guys. Can you see the screen?
Absolutely.
We can.
All right. So the back end is almost done in terms of setting it up. So what I've got here is just a list of venues, their cuisine type. This is a link to the menu, like an image of the menu, of the wine menu. And then this is using Glide's document to text AI functionality to turn these menus into text.
Wow.
And then what we're going to do is, because the wine menu for that restaurant is probably already tailored to the cuisine. So what we're going to do is, instead of having to upload the food menu and that sort of stuff, we're going to look at what wines they've currently selected. And we've got that data here. And then we're going to compare it to our list and say, hey, look, we know you've got the, Unshackled by the Prisoner, California. We recommend this wine instead. It'd be a great alternative, or something along those lines. So we've kind of got information related to the venue. We've got a nice little hero icon here using the computed hero icons column. And then what I'm doing is just saying, okay, with this venue, let's pull in all the tasting sheets that we've created for this particular venue. And they'll pop up here, and we can display it on the screen I'm building now, which is the venue detail screen. And then here we have a little kind of tab indicator functionality that I've created. If people are here from Low Code School, they'll know about this one. And what this does is essentially allows us to set up some buttons and emulate the functionality of tabs. So we're going to have one tab where we're looking at the menu and can upload the menu. And then the other tab is going to be where we're going to be listing all the tasting sheets and basically creating it from there. So we've got the venue table. We've got the tasting sheet items table. We have the tasting sheet itself. And this is where we're going to kind of do the heavy lifting. But in the wines table, what I've done is, when I'm creating a tasting sheet, I'm going to be telling these wines which venue I'm creating the tasting sheet for. And then we're going to use AI and templates to, number one, determine the suitability of this wine, this particular wine, for this menu. And then we're going to give some reasoning behind it. So, and this is just a generate text AI column. So what we're doing is basically, when we're creating the tasting sheet, the AI is going to know what the restaurant is, what its cuisine is, what its current wine menu is. It's going to compare all of the wines in this list to that, and then give us a number in terms of suitability. And then it's going to give the reasoning. So when we're adding wines to this tasting sheet, we're going to sort by most suitable to least. And we're going to be able to easily rapid fire kind of some wines onto the tasting sheet, create the PDF, and make a lot of money selling wine. So that's that's the goal, and we should be on track. Should be on track here. So hopefully
I'm loving
we can put
this
it together in time.
Fantastic.
Marco, keep going. Keep going. We're rooting for you.
I will.
Andy, what's interesting here is like they're taking the problem and reversing it. They're like reverse engineering it. Each of these are starting, like Megan's is starting with a number, a rank, a rating.
Mm-hmm.
And Bob's is starting with a YouTube URL. And Marco's is starting with a menu. And look at just that single point of data, everything that's built from there. And automated, this is like mind-blowing what they can do. Like, this is crazy.
Yeah, I love when you see that, when you can take a single point of data and just start extrapolating from that. Computed columns, manipulating through layout, doing things with actions, just from that starting data point. It's amazing what's possible. The chat has been bumping. We have some great comments in here. This is a great one from Natalia. I'm not sure if we brought this one up already. But the fact that we're doing this all in 1 hour, and we have 20 minutes left to go.
We're halfway through.
Halfway through, and amazing progress so far. And also this one from Jeffrey. If you're coming into this, you haven't built with Glide before, this is a really good sneak peek at the experience of building with Glide with folks who have done this for a little while. But it does give you a sense of what's possible. I love that about this event.
It's funny. We already have some really good recommendations for who people would like to see in these build-offs. So, I mean, I think this is great. And if anybody's interested in doing something like this, let us know. This is incredible. It's a great learning experience for everybody. And I'm learning. So
there's one.
Are you reading comments? Yeah, there it is.
I'm reading comments.
Yeah, it's hard. I want to talk to everybody. So
I know.
We only have 27 minutes. So let's cycle back and see if how close Robert is. Let's see if he's on track. I don't know. Robert.
It's ambitious. I don't know. So here's what I've done so far while you were away. I created a completion log table for the lessons. The thought is that when someone finishes watching a video, more about that in a second, it's going to record the ID of the lesson and the user, and I need a timestamp in here as well. That's always good information. I use timestamps everywhere. It's just good extra data we can include for any sort of purpose here. And then back in the lesson, I have here a relation to all of the lessons completed. This is going to be for the admins to see who has completed lessons, or who has completed which lessons. And then also from that, a query as to if the user of the person who completed it is the signed in user, meaning like I am Alice and I'm viewing my stuff. That means I'll be able to track if I completed that lesson. So this is going to be a user specific column. And then from there, I have a user status. So if this is empty, that means I haven't yet completed it. But once I complete it, then this will change to complete. And that way, just for visual purposes, I can see exactly which lessons I've already completed. Also, I added, we'll see if I get to this, a way for admins to assign courses. So here's the course ID for one of the courses. And then they're going to use a choice component to select which emails, which users should have access to it. And then I'll be able to show like a dashboard for the user, like, hey, these are my assigned courses, right? Which then means that at the course level, we can determine if I have completed that course. So the thought is we have already at the course level, the lessons. And so we can see there's 5 lessons and 14 lessons. And then I can count if I have completed the lesson or not through another query. So this query is looking at that relation of lessons from course to lesson and checking to see if I have completed it. So that's, again, that user specific, did I complete that lesson column? And if it's empty, that means that I haven't. And if it has, it means it has. So I'm querying all the ones that I've already completed. I'm getting a roll up of those. So in this case, 0, I haven't completed anything yet. And I'm tracking a progress here. So now I can track overall course progress that I can display in a progress bar at the course level. So that's going to be kind of fun to add here as well. Already started fleshing out the the detail screen. So we have here courses that can dive into a course. Maybe I'm only going to, this would be like an all courses, but on the home screen, I'll show like my courses. And then from here, they have the lessons, and then the lessons, I have the video. And then one cool thing about videos, if you're planning on doing LMSs, at the video level, you can hide controls or show controls. This is really great for LMSs, like if you want to force them to watch the video, right? And you can do a save progress here as well. What this is going to do, it's going to do a percentage starting from 0 and ending with a whole number 1 as to how much of the video they actually watched.
That's crazy.
So here's the progress of 0. Once you start playing the video, you'll see that this progress starts creeping up, right? And if I were to watch, controls, I show the controls, about 50%, you see that about 50% right now, right? So I can use that as a condition as to whether or not they actually watch the video. And if I hide controls, that means they have to watch it all the way through. For building purposes, I'll probably keep that on because I want to be able to test it out. But then I'm going to include a button in here, this one right here. I'm going to make this a button that will allow them to complete the video only when progress is at like 0.97 or higher. So they have to get like to the end of the video in order to actually complete it. And that's going to write to the completion log and then do all the calculations and the progress. And so next time you check in with me, I'll probably have that up and working.
I wonder how many people that are watching know how to use this feature. Did anybody just learn about this? I'm curious.
It's fantastic.
Comments.
Yeah.
I'm going to watch the comments. Bob, I'm going to watch the comments. I'm going to let you get back to watching your screen.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
So let's check in with Megan. Oh, well, Christian knows about it. That's cool.
Sweet. All right, Megan.
Hi, guys. So I am, let's see. Yeah, I'll discard that. So we've got a little bit of progress here. I know one of the rules was kind of like visibility, based on a person's role. So we've got 2 kinds of roles in this little portal here. We've got an admin and we've got team. So I figured I needed to go ahead and build out that. So what I've done is I've switched to one of the team members, but if I were viewing as the admin, which is me, but it looks like I've disappeared or something from here. It's probably because my email address is empty. Okay, there we go. So if I'm viewing as an admin, I'm going to be able to see a dashboard, right? And my idea also is that I should probably hide the me tab if the admin is signed in. So yeah, I've got most of the functionality for the actual form when they're evaluating someone. This is going to be a little more, customizable, I think, depending on, the industry, but I've went ahead and opted for not a, star rating because I liked the emoji look. And also it's going to, whenever we're using that text to Boolean column in the evaluation, it's going to be able to pick up on the text, like the actual comment of the text. So the score is not as important. So I felt that the rating was a little bit too hardcore. So if there was more of just like a, softer reaction, so to speak. So it's coming along. I'm just kind of building out some of the interface and making sure I'm a rule follower. So I'm like trying to make sure I hit all the points.
I don't know.
Appreciate it.
I'm looking at this and I'm pretty sure Susie, who we're looking at, she looks a little sus. I'd give her a 1 rating.
Who? Oh, Susie? Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, yeah. Sarah, maybe.
Sarah. I'm sorry. Sarah. Yeah. She looks.
Sarah does have some.
Sorry, Sarah.
Looks like.
Oh, she does have it. There it is. She's got a 1.
There
I
you
knew
go.
it. I knew it.
Right. So also I'm planning to pull over the emojis here to kind of create that more seamless theme. So when I kind of switched gears there and started going for a more, graphic display here, I'm going to go ahead and relate to those choices here. So depending on their score, I'm just going to relate back and look up the icon that it should be. So that's what I'm doing really quick. Yeah. Any questions though?
Megan?
Yeah.
You're rocking. Keep going. We'll check in with you in a minute.
All right.
All right. Let's do a check on time. We've just rolled past the 20-minute mark. We have 20 minutes left, approximately.
Marco, I hope you're on fire down there.
Marco, shall we check in?
Yeah.
How you doing, buddy?
Let's go for it. Pretty good, actually. I think I'm well on track. Basically, what I'm doing now is just building out the tasting sheet page. And you can see here we've got some wines that we've added. I can just pause what I'm doing here. But so we have this tasting sheet kind of collection item here in the venues detail page. We can add a new tasting sheet and then jump in, and we'll have like a blank page where we can start adding the wines. And you'll notice that the AI system is going to know that we're creating a tasting sheet for Carbone, which is an Italian restaurant. And so when I click add to add a wine, it's already determined in terms of suitability for this restaurant based on the menu, the cuisine, everything it knows, that a 10 out of 10 recommendation would be this Cabernet Sauvignon. Then we've got some 9 out of 10 recommendations. And the idea here is that you want to stick towards the top of the list. So when you're going to the tasting, you're armed with the best wines that are not only going to wow them in terms of the taste, but be like the perfect replacements to kind of kick out the other wholesalers, and you can get your wines into their restaurant. So this is where I'm at. There's a few little tweaks to do on the front end, but we're almost there. We're doing well. So
I don't know what's happened to you, but the other two finished 30 minutes ago.
Yeah, because they pre-built it.
No, there's been no pre-built.
Oh, the allegations are flying.
Yeah.
They're just pretending to work right now. That's right.
That's right. That's right. I love it. I love it. Marco, rocking. Keep going. Keep going. I love it. Oh, it's great.
A little reminder here from Matt in the chat. Smash that like button. If you're watching this on YouTube, hit that like button. Subscribe to the Glide channel. We're going to be doing more of these. This has been a ton of fun. Who should we jump to next?
Let's check. We got 17 minutes left. We're at the 17-minute mark, Andy. And it feels like we just started.
I know. It's amazing. I'm looking at the timer. We've been live for 47 minutes. We got 17 minutes left in the build. This is crazy. Time flies when you're building with Glide.
I'm loving this. We probably should check back in with Bob. We may have enough time to do one more scoop before they finish. I don't know. Let's see.
Let's see.
Hey. Made some progress. Here we go. So now at the courses level, I'm going to make this a little bit better. I'm going to actually show the progress bar here. Haven't done anything with the home screen yet. That's going to be the last thing I do. Just to throw some last little things in there. At the courses level, you can dive into a course. Again, you see the lesson with the status on here as well. Admins only can add a new video. So it's super simple for admins with no HR department to put in a video and then submit, and it should add it to one of the lessons. And then we have a progress bar of the lessons complete. So if I were to dive in here and play this video, and I'm just going to fast forward, we see the mark complete button is grayed out. But the moment I start getting towards the end of the video, we should see the mark button becomes active. I click on mark complete, and marked as complete, and then back in my lesson, it is now complete, and I have 1 of 5 lessons complete at 20%. So all of that's working now, and then I'll be able to track this at the user level for admin purposes in some sort of admin dashboard, which hopefully I can get to in the next 15 minutes. Okay.
What's funny is somebody in the chat while you were building this, Bob, they mentioned that you just built in this amount of time what they've been paying for. So it shows how powerful this can be. I love this. No, there we go. Yeah, Kevin. I'm glad you found that. I tried to. All right, Bob, you got 15 minutes left. Good luck.
We'll do it.
Let's check in with the representative of Texas, Megan.
Hello again, Megan.
Hello. So I'm over here just building out the detail screen of the review itself. I'm not trying to spend too much time on it, but let me take you through really quick. Right now, I'm just leaving it open to maybe team members would want to be able to, review each other. That also could be another avenue to explore, right? So right now I don't have that visibility limited. I'm viewing as Sarah. I might evaluate Emily. So I could, say, great job on the presentation or something like that, right? Quick check-in or something, a rating. And here's what this submit button does now. I've added a non-submit action that will notify the team member that they got a review. And it will provide that synopsis version of their review. So let me think of anything else that I added. Well,
That's cool. That's a nice touch.
Yeah. And yeah, so just kind of trucking along. Right now I know that it's going to take them to the detail screen of the review after they submit. And so I'm just making sure that that's looking okay. Yeah. That's about that's it. I'm like down to the wire here.
It's all good, all good. We'll leave it to it, Megan.
All right.
Looking good. I guess we need to check in with Marco. Then we need to look at the timer and maybe look at some comments. There's some.
That
some
sounds
really cool...
good. That sounds good. There are some really good comments coming through. But first, Marco, how are we doing?
Pretty good. Pretty good. I've kind of got most of what I want to get done thrown out on the screen here. So this is the client details page. We have the tasting sheets here, and we have the menu that they can upload or take a photo of or whatever it is. So usually what you'll do is when you're going around kind of scouting new venues, like seeing what they've opened, what their wine list is, you'll probably collect the menu or take a photo of the menu or something like that. This is where you can upload that. So we see Carbone has this particular menu, and it can be as big as or as small as you want. You could have even a PDF. You could download the wine list from the website and upload the PDF. And so that's the menu. And then the tasting sheets is all looking good. So I can show you an example. If we come in and add a tasting sheet and we jump in, we've got no wines yet. When I click add, it's going to come up. It's the same venue. So we've got all the same recommendations, and I can just click away at these. It's added it to the tasting sheet here. And then if I click create PDF, it should give us, if I can share this tab, a beautiful tasting sheet PDF that we can bring along, print out, and get it going. So
that's unreal.
Yeah, I'm almost there. I'm almost done with it all. So
you've got 12 minutes left, Marco. Like, kind of keep messing with everybody.
I'll spruce it up a bit.
It's looking good. Andy, what's our timer at? Marco, keep going.
Oh my goodness. We are at 11 minutes and 50 seconds and counting.
Look,
coming
Andy,
to the final stretch.
I've got to go through some of these comments. These are great. Look,
let's do it.
Jeffrey's upset that he can only hit the like once. I agree. This is incredible. I love what Matt said here. It's like when we went back to Bob when he was building, made some progress, and Matt's right. Like it would take me or you like a week to do this. Like they're so proficient. It's insane.
It's crazy to watch.
Here's a good one, and I'm going to ask you this because how much notice and what did we actually tell the experts before we launched this, just to put this into perception?
Yeah, I saw some comments in the chat saying like, oh, they must have been thinking about this, preparing for this for some time. No, yesterday we just dropped in the base requirements pretty late in the day, saying here's what we're thinking about for the build off tomorrow, and that was it. What you're seeing right now is fresh. Experts have jumped in, started building, maybe some rough idea of what they want to build, but there was no prep time here. There was no dry run. This is live.
And I gotta agree with Natalia here. Like, how many days would it take a coder to build this at this speed, like a real traditional development, versus this? It's mind-boggling to me.
I'm just thinking about if anyone's familiar with traditional software development, just the time it takes to set up your dev stack and get everything in place just so you can start building the thing, let alone actually building the thing. So much overhead just in that part. And look at what we're shipping already.
I love this. And I completely agree with Andy. The value here is kind of understanding the thought process of why they're doing what they're doing and at what interval and what they're trying to do, and then seeing them do it. It's super helpful for everybody. So I love this. This is incredible.
Yeah. So we are at the 10-minute mark now for all our builders. We have 10 minutes left.
3 minutes each. Let's see where they're at, and then we'll do a final look at what it is.
That sounds good. Okay. Over to Bob.
Let's see. He's probably made some progress.
I've made some progress. It's like I said, mine was ambitious. We'll see if it if it's going to come to fruition. So I have here now like an admin dashboard. Admin will see like the latest lessons completed by whom and when. They can click into any of these to see that person. This is named wrong, but they'll be able to see then a completion log of all lessons completed by that person. So it's like a fast forward. I have a home screen now with my courses. So there's a course that's been assigned to Alice, and then Alice can see the courses that have been assigned to them. What else? That's what I made. So now I'm just kind of fine tuning like all the different functionalities based upon what role you're at.
All right. This
Got
is the
9
polish
minutes.
time. 9 minutes to polish it
Make
up.
some progress.
That's right.
All right. Megan? Marco?
That's Megan. Let's check
That's
with Megan.
All right.
Over here, kind of building out the final pieces here. So I've got the admin view, not super robust yet. The last thing I need to add is just like the entire list of evaluations. Probably going to sort it backwards. Let's see. And we probably don't want that add button there. I added while you guys were gone, just a little hero icon. So basically when, someone gets reviewed, let's do a review on Sarah. She needs some positive vibes, I think. So let's give her a good review, great work today, right? Something like that. And once they submit, it's going to show them, that final piece. So if these were real email addresses in here, obviously they would be delivering to them. But we're going to hit the back button, just go back to Sarah's profile. But on the admin dashboard, we could click in and see that review coming through. So this icon needs to change to the actual icon of the review. Notice we've got some sad faces in there. Now, if we flip to Sarah's view, let's see, I'll hide that admin view. I can click over to, whoa, something funky. Okay, there we go. So if I was viewing as Sarah, I would see that I just got that. I just used like a relative time column. And another thing I think I want to incorporate in here is once they click in, maybe we add that little synopsis that we're using the Glide AI to generate.
yeah.
So I'm going to just drag that in there. Generate. Okay, there we go.
That's
It's
funny.
adding some fluff to it, it looks like, because my comment was very, very short. But I love that. This is the text that actually gets sent to the team member. So, and then I see my average score has improved. One thing I probably want to also do is not allow actual team members to review themselves. So I'm probably going to add some conditions on this action to say allow this when, let's see, we probably want to say when the employee ID doesn't equal the user profile's ID. Now, the reason I'm using IDs is because that's the norm for companies, is that they all have, employee IDs, but you could very well use email address, that kind of stuff. So notice that button disappeared there.
Megan, it's looking good.
Yeah, thanks.
Looking really good.
Yeah.
We've got a few minutes left. We probably want to make sure Marco hasn't gone to sleep and finished taking a nap on us. Or sipping wine. I don't know. Whatever you do over there, Marco.
Why
are we doing
at 5:58 a.m.? That's pushing it. So what I'm doing now is I'm just setting up. Usually what will happen within a wine distribution business is that certain salesmen will have certain territories that they look after. And then you'll have kind of management above them that kind of oversees the whole operation. So I'm just setting the final roles here. So this is going to be territory name. And then based on this, and what we can do is add another column and say territory. Actually, we can say management access. So what I'm doing is I'm giving management access to all of these. So if I come in the users, and because my role is management, if I put this here and make this a row owner, as management, I now have access to all of this. And then what we can do is we can say, okay, these are Hong Kong Island venues, and this is Kowloon venues, and we can also apply a row owner here. So as management, I have access to all. And if I am Bob Stevens, I have access to these 3. And if I'm Steve Bobbins, I have access to these 2. So
Wow.
we've got basically different territories belonging to different people. The data is segmented. And I haven't really built sales kind of or really, confidential data. But because we've set up the roles, you could do that in the future. So you could have management looking at like overall sales and and go from there. But I think I'm just about done. So
Marco,
I think
keep
how
going.
many minutes do we have?
You have enough.
3
You
minutes?
have just a little, maybe 4. We're
4-ish.
All right.
send you down to keep finishing touching.
All right, let's do it.
Thanks, buddy.
Andy, what are we at? Oh,
We are at
gosh.
3 minutes, 30 seconds.
So I guess here's what's going to happen. When the buzzer hits, I think what we should probably do is stop working, put your pencils down, and then
Down.
we should see a full demo start to finish of the app. No builder, just the app. Let's see what it looks like. I want to see the finished product. I'm so excited to see this.
I love it.
I really liked what he just did right there in the data. Tell us what that was, Andy.
With what he was doing there in the data?
Signing people in the data.
Oh,
in the
yes.
row
That part. There's a lot happening in the data. So when we start assigning row owners, what we have the ability there to do is basically it's a more secure way of limiting visibility of information. So in your glide table, if you assign a row owner column and there's a user match, email match to that row will only be accessible and will only be downloaded on the app by that user. So rather than just making everything available to all your users, in cases where you have sensitive information, you only want to make that information available to certain users. So you can assign the row owner column. It could be to an email address, it could be to a user role, and that's going to add that level of security. We have some great docs on it, by the way.
100%. That's so great. And by the way, Jimmy wants to know what experts charge an hour. In the summary, we'll add a link to directly to each of our experts here. So if you want to reach out and get in touch with one of them, you absolutely can. Yes, it's 2 minutes left now, Natalia. What happened here, Andy? It's like we just started.
Time flies, my friend. Time flies.
I love this. So I'm curious from the audience, which one are you the most excited to see? Like, do you want to see an image get turned into a PDF with Marco's magic? Do you want to see a YouTube URL get turned into a full lesson plan with just submitting a YouTube video? Or do you want to finally see, what was her name, Susie, or what was her name, the naughty employee, finally get that review that she's been needing to help her day go up? I don't know. Oh, we got some votes. Lots. Well, some people are cheating and they want all 3. It's an easy one. I agree. Look, some people want more time, Andy. I don't know. We've got LMS votes. We've got all kinds of votes. I love this.
Yep.
Love this. They want the wine app.
So many good votes happening in the chat, and you will have the ability to vote in the Glide community afterwards. We'll have the link up on screen. You'll be able to go there and drop your vote in for your favorite app build. So heads up. All right, we got 43 seconds left and counting from the final.
Start finishing. Put the bow on.
Finishing at 30 seconds coming up here.
I feel like it's a cooking show. Plate. You've got to put it on the plate.
Oh, there's so many British Bake Off references I want to drop here, but we just don't have the time because we only have 20 seconds.
That's it.
20 seconds and counting.
I think Marco's taking a nap.
Bless him for powering through, though. 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7. Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pencils down.
That's it. Look, I got to Megan. Everybody's hands are up. Megan's hands.
Hey, I've got my hands up.
Where are the hands? Show us the hands.
Done.
So I just want to know. This has been incredible, Megan.
Yeah.
What do you think? How do you feel?
Well, I feel like, I like it. It's good. I'm the least expert, but I tried my best and I had so much fun.
You are amazing. Marco, how do you feel? Like at the end there, I kind of say I got a little worried about you because you started adding complexity and territory and managers. Crazy guy. How do you feel?
Yeah, no, good. I think I got what I wanted to get done. It's all working. You know, we can give this to the sales reps that can go out there and make some money, and then we can celebrate with a bit of wine, and everything's good.
Everybody
you know?
wins. And everybody wins.
Everybody wins.
Bob, did you make some progress?
I did. I got done about 98% of exactly what I wanted to get done. The app is functional. I could pass this off to somebody right now, and they would actually be able to use the app, assign a course, and then track their users' progress. So it does all that. Needs some fine tuning in 1 hour, but yeah, I'm really happy with how it turned out.
Andy, do we want to start with Bob and let him showcase first? Just stay in that order.
Let's start with Bob. All right.
So right now I'm viewing as an admin. This admin has also been assigned a course. So that's why it shows up in the My Courses section here. We see that this admin has already completed one of their 5 lessons. If they were to dive into the course, and let's say they were to complete another one of these courses here, or one of the lessons in the course, the button then becomes active. They mark it complete. Now we can see that 2 of the 5, their progress bar has increased. And they can keep track of all of their progress on that. They can keep track of when they last recently completed any courses. And I also was able to build out the training events section here as well. So I have a nice little calendar of training events that are going on, and they can RSVP for any of these training events. If they RSVP for them, then it shows that they're RSVP'd, and then back on their home screen, we'll have an RSVP'd section down here, which I didn't get a chance to name. There we go. So you can see the recent RSVPs will show up on the home screen as well. Admins have a completion logs. They can see who has completed which courses and when. They can see, and they can also make assignments. Right now I've assigned a bunch of people the falls prevention course, but I haven't assigned anybody yet the job site safety course. So I can select job site safety, and I can select maybe these people need to access that course. I hit submit. And so if I view now as David, that course should be available in the home section. And yeah, there it is under false prevention and job site safety. So if you want to see this live then as an admin, maybe if the admin wants to add a brand new course or a lesson to a course, let's say, they can add a new lesson. Let's see, just for laughs, let's grab, how about this Glide AI workflows video? Let's say they want to assign this to one of their IT department people here in the app. They can throw in the video, they hit submit. It probably won't find which course it should belong to. Maybe it will, because it doesn't pertain to either one of those 2 things. But we can see, at least in the lessons section here, that video was added. The title was found. The transcript was found, and it did assign it to, for some reason, this course, the 4LT. So that would be the job site safety. Sure, why not? So if they were to dive into the job site safety, they would then be able to see that AI course, and then they could watch it and complete it.
People are going nuts. Like,
That's fantastic.
You didn't make an LMS. You made an LMS that tracks users, assigns to users, and is imported with a URL. Like,
that's the only, just YouTube URL done. It's
crazy. It's okay, Bob. This needs a little more work, I think.
A little bit.
Yeah, I don't have to go after him, do I?
No, this is like this. This is incredible. Like,
oh, it's great, Bob. Yeah,
I love that. Megan.
Yeah, let me show you here.
Let's see it.
So I've got my little portal pulled up. I'm going to go ahead and log in, and I think I did open up. Yeah, feel free to log into, guys, the judges, so to speak. I think most of the functionality is ready to go. I could add, let's add Brett.
Oh, naughty reviews.
We might be giving you some bad reviews.
Oh, no.
Okay, so let's add Brett here, and then we'll go in and review him. Let's see. Well, let's make him a team member. I just also added, obviously, needs some work on the design there, but I added a little icon that would show just in case they didn't upload a user photo. But if I go ahead and click in and I evaluate Brett, let's give him some comments. Brett, I love that you are so enthusiastic about Glide.
That's a good comment. I'll take it.
Right.
Please continue working diligently. Okay, a quick check-in and let's give him a good review. Okay. So it should be in your inbox.
Let's see.
So let me know if you get that.
That
I
would
hope
be
I put your
cool.
email in right.
Oh my gosh, I just received a new evaluation.
Uh-huh.
In this employee evaluation, Brett received a score of 5. The comments state that the evaluator appreciates your enthusiasm for a project or task at Glide. Oh, this is so cool.
So basically, I really leaned heavily on the AI. Obviously, we can jot quick little notes in about things without even having to make a full sentence about the team member's performance. So, and obviously, you can go back in and look at more cleaned up version, right? So, yeah. And then obviously I'm signed in as the only admin here, but I can go in and see the average score, the evaluations. This little chart I just added at the last minute, kind of showing a leaderboard of sorts. So you have an average of 5. So that's why you're up here at the top. But obviously those, we could dive into some more complex calculations, accurately ranking each of the employees. And then obviously I can go down and see everybody's average score and then the overall look at the evaluation. Now, yeah. So and Brett, you can log in there too and give me a good review back.
Now that I got a 5, I think I'd probably do the same.
Yeah.
I love this. Incredible.
Awesome. Thank you.
Fantastic stuff. All right, Marco.
All right.
Let's see what you got.
So, it is published, but I can just show you from the back end here. It's the same functionality. So we have a list of venues, and you can see that if I switch to Bob Stevens here, it's filtered them out because of that row security. It's filtered them out to just my territory, and then the same as Steve Bobbins, he's got his two venues there. But I'm going to use this as management, so I've got access to all of them, and we can add venues here and basically insert them into the list. And then we jump into the details page and we have a little summary about the restaurant name, the cuisine. We can edit this and we have these beautiful tabs. So you can expand upon this and add more and more information like contacts and different things to this. But at the moment, just to showcase the functionality, we've got tasting sheets here and then the menu. So what they can do is if they're on mobile, they could click this, take a photo of the menu, and it would upload here. And then maybe on the fly or when they get back to the office, they can go to the tasting sheets and click add a tasting sheet. So it's going to insert a tasting sheet under this client. And then we can jump into that tasting sheet and begin adding the wines. Now, we're looking at Amber, which is a French restaurant. And when we click add, it's going to start populating with all of the best, most suitable wines for this French restaurant based on their current wine list. So you can see at the top here, a 10 out of 10 suitable wine would be the Chateauneuf du Pape, which is a beautiful wine that would, I'm sure, sell very well. So what we can do is we can go through, and as the sales rep will have some knowledge about wine, they'll know, for example, which wines that they personally think are also good recommendations. But we can go through and then we can add maybe some of these like Nero d'Avola, and 4 wines is probably enough. So now we've got all of these wines added. We've got the score, the vintage, the price, and we have the reasoning. So one of the things that really impresses the sommeliers when you go to the restaurant is having a reason to bring the wines you brought. If you're just bringing them to like get rid of stock, they're not very happy. But if you bring wines and you explain why you chose them and why you think that they're a perfect fit, it really makes a difference. So once we've selected all the wines, all we need to do is click create PDF, and in less than a second, it's created the PDF. And I can share this tab, and we've got a beautiful printable PDF that we can bring along. Awesome. That has all of the details of the wine, the points, the price. It has the tasting notes, which is also generated by AI. And then we have why it's a great fit. So pretty efficient. And you could obviously format this and make it look a bit prettier, but the functionality's there. So yeah, that's the application.
If this is what you can do at 4 o'clock in the morning,
man.
Great job.
Yeah,
That's
Love that.
amazing.
This has got to be probably the most fun I think I've had, and I know probably Marco for you at 4 a.m. Probably the best you've ever. We can see the sun's up now. Look.
actually, the sun. Darren was pointing out the sun was rising as I was doing the
Low behind him.
build.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this has been incredible. I want to thank all of y'all for being here. Andy, what are the next steps? Like, what are we going to do next?
all right. So the poll is live in the community. You can go there right now, community.glideapps.com/buildoff-2023. You'll also find it in the announcements category. Go there. You'll be able to vote for your favorite build. If you have any follow-up questions, shout outs, anything like that, you can drop it in the comments there in the community. And then we are going to announce the winner at our Gliding into the New Year event next Tuesday with David. Polling closes on Monday, so you have the weekend to vote. And then we announce the winner on Tuesday.
Sounds like a plan. I love this. This has been incredible. Megan, Marco, Robert, thanks for coming and giving us an hour, a little extra of your time. And by the way, it wasn't even a real hour because I interrupted all of you several times. So it's really more like 45 minutes because I interrupted you each 3 times, right? Me and Andy barged in on your build. So
much fun.
Like, this has been incredible. Y'all are, I don't care what they say about y'all. I love y'all. Y'all are the best.
What do they say?
Nothing bad. Nothing bad.
All right, everybody. That's it for us. Thank you so much. Don't forget to like and subscribe, all that fun stuff. We will see you in the community. We will see you at Gliding into the New Year next Tuesday. And until then, have a great weekend. Bye.
Bye, y'all.
Everybody.
Thanks, everybody.
See you
Have a
guys.
good one.